Welcome to Pumping Python. My name is Jacob Itegboje, and this is the truth table, which are exercises in writing conditions using the truth table from mathematics. Time to write some code. I'll open the Explorer with Control and tilde on the keyboard, open a terminal. On Windows without subsystem, linux./make-python tdd.ps1, truth_table as the name of the project. On the other operating systems, /make-python tdd.sh. Truth_table. Enter to run it. It makes the folders and files that are needed, installs packages, then runs the first test. When I control option, click on the file name, it opens in the editor. I will change true to false to make the test pass. There are nullary operations, 2 of them. They do not take input, they always return the same thing. These are singleton functions. I'll add tests for them. Enter after the import line, import source.truth_table. Change the name of the class to test nullary with a capital N, operations with a capital O. Change the name of the test to test_logical_true. Change the assert false to assert true. In the parentheses, change false to source.truth_table.logical_true, parentheses. The terminal shows attribute error. Module source.truth_table has no attribute logical_true. Hashtag attribute error in the list of exceptions encountered. Then I'll open the source folder, grab truthtable.py to put on the left side of the editor. Close the Explorer. Add def logical_true, parentheses, colon, return none. The terminal shows assertion error. None is not true. I'll change none to true in the return statement. The test passes. Logical true returns true the Boolean. DEF test_logical_false, parentheses, self, colon at the end. Self.assert false, parentheses, source.truth_table, the logical_false, parentheses. The terminal shows attribute error. Module source.truth_table has no attribute logical_false. Did you mean logical_true? Add def logical_false, parentheses, colon, return true. The terminal shows assertion error. True is not false. Change true to false in the return statement. The test passes. Logical false returns false the Boolean. There are unary operations. These take one input. I'll add tests for them next. Enter 3 times after the last line, backspace twice to add a new class. Test with a capital T, Unary with a capital U, Operations with a capital O. Parentheses, unit test dot test with a capital T, case with a capital C, colon at the end. DEF, test underscore logical underscore identity, parentheses self, colon at the end. Self.assert true, parentheses, source the truth underscore table, the logical underscore identity, parentheses true. The terminal shows attribute error. Module source the truth underscore table has no attribute logical underscore identity. Add DEF logical underscore identity, parentheses, colon, return false. The terminal shows type error. Logical identity takes 0 positional arguments, but 1 was given. Hashtag type error in the list of exceptions encountered. Then add argument in the parentheses as the name of an input parameter. The terminal shows assertion error. False is not true. Change false to true in the return statement. The test passes. There's another case. Self.assert false, parentheses, source.truth underscore table, the logical underscore identity, parentheses false. The terminal shows assertion error. True is not false. If I change true to false in the return statement, the terminal shows assertion error. False is not true for the line that was passing before. The expectation here is that when true is given as input, the result is true. When false is given as input, the result is false. I'm going to change the statement to say return argument. The test passes. Logical identity returns its input as output. It is a pass-through function. DEF, test underscore logical underscore negation, parentheses self, colon at the end. Self.assert false, parentheses, source.truth underscore table, the logical underscore negation, parentheses true. The terminal shows attribute error. Module source.truth underscore table has no attribute logical underscore negation. DEF, logical underscore negation, parentheses argument, colon at the end. Return argument. The terminal shows assertion error. True is not false. Change argument to false in the return statement. The test passes. Here's the next case. self.assert true, parentheses source, the truth underscore table, the logical underscore negation, parentheses false. The terminal shows assertion error. False is not true. If I change false to true in the return statement, the terminal shows assertion error. True is not false. For the line that was passing before. If I change true to argument, I get the same error. The expectation here is that when true is given, the result is false. When false is given, the result is true. To do that, I'll use a keyword. Change the statement to say return not argument. The test passes. Logical negation returns the opposite of the boolean it receives. I'm going to change the name of the test to say test underscore logical underscore negation underscore aka underscore not. I ran tests for Nullary and Unary Operations. Would you like to test binary operations? I'll see you in the next one.